What's going on, everybody? Thanks as always for checking in. Today we're going to go over the Deadbug, which is a highly functional movement, really great for core strength and stability, help you work across your body, and it's going to address a lot of the questions I've been getting lately about getting abs, working for a six-pack for the summer, or putting in a little bit of extra stomach work after the holidays. Now, the Deadbug, and we're going to work on not only the base level Deadbug, but also the regression and progression of it, starts as simply as a pelvic tilt, which we've talked about in the past, right? Aligning yourself so that you posterior pelvic tilt, get a nice flat lumbar spine, and can engage the anterior aspect of your core just to lock all of that in. So I want you to think about that the entire time we do these exercises, okay? The first thing you're going to do for this ground exercise, and it is a ground exercise, no equipment needed, so you can do this at home, you can do this before, during, after a workout. So just lay down on the floor like you're going to do a glute bridge and assess your pelvic tilt. So just what we're talking about. Get your back so it's perfectly flat onto the ground, and then lift your legs up at 90 degrees and just let them rest there for a second. I want you to be able to feel that your core is firing. I want you to be able to get your arms straight out in front of you, get your legs bent at 90 degrees, and just lock that core in. Now, assuming we can get here and we feel relatively comfortable here, the Deadbug itself is going to be looking across your body to fire the core, which means that as one leg is going out, the opposite arm is going up. So if my left leg is going from bent to straight, my right leg is going from in front of me to above me. Okay, so as you'll see here, when I assess that pelvic tilt, and then once I assess, I want to get my legs 90 degrees and then go one leg out and the opposite arm back. And then we're going to alternate. You can do all at one time, but I like to alternate back and forth. It's going to test my body's ability on both sides equally. And as you see, there's no distance between my back and the floor. They're perfectly connected, okay? If I were to lose any of that core integrity, you're going to see an arch in my lumbar back. And you can see it right here. There's a little glimmer of light. And at one point, I can even get my hand under there because I'm now no longer tight in my core and my back is starting to keep me upright. My back and my hip flexors doing the work that I want my core to do. Now, if this does happen, A, you're going to assess your core integrity a little bit, and we need to take other steps to strengthen that. But B, you can still do the Deadbug, okay? The regression is quite simple. You're going to stay in the same position to start, but instead of dropping your leg straight and letting it go towards the floor, you're just going to keep that leg at 90 degrees and you're going to gently tap the foot down to the ground. Now, I don't want you dropping weight down to the ground and having to pick it back up. I just want you to keep your core tight. I want you to tap the ground with your foot and then switch to the other side doing the same. This is a really easy regression. Again, no equipment needed, and you're still going to be able to accomplish this at some level no matter what. Now, how many reps you can do and how long you can hold this out for is totally individual, but remember that the idea is that your core is firing the entire time, your lumbar, your QL, your hip flexors are not doing the work, and your legs are going to be the levers. So by changing that lever from a straight leg to a bent leg, going down and tapping the foot down to the ground, you're going to be able to see how much control you have over your stomach. Now, if you feel comfortable with the regression and the baseline, I want you to take it to a progression, and there's a lot of different versions. You can use a stability ball between your hands and knees. You can use bands in your hands, bands at your legs. I like to take the next easy progression to just take both legs, going from bent and straightening them back out, okay? So every other part of the rule applies, but now you're doing both arms and both legs at the same time. This may mean that your leg can't go quite as low, but that's okay as long as your lumbar is flat with the ground, your core is nice and tight, and you feel comfortable there, you're winning in that progression, okay? I want you to be able to own all three versions of this, and I want you to be able to take this into all of your workouts and anything you do across your body. Now, because you start with that baseline alternating Deadbug, where it works the right arm and the left leg or vice versa, this translates over to any of your split squats, certainly anything where you're racking in one arm or pressing in one arm and you're in a split stance position. Anything in a half kneeling position where you're working again across your body, whether that means pressing up, rowing back, pressing forward with a cable. This is going to work any of these unilateral or contralateral movements that you're doing because it's teaching your core to work from one hip to the opposite shoulder. All right? This is huge. Like I said, super functional. And when you try it, if you haven't already, you're going to know what I mean by a good core workout. I want you to own this in all of your workouts. I want you to be able to take this to the gym. I want you to feel really comfortable with it. So I want you to let me know what you think of it. Share it with your friends if you like it. And drop any comments or questions you have below. You can also hit me up on Instagram at JCodeFit. And I'll see you next time.